What's up everybody, it's Richy here, and today we have a really cool video, because it turns out that this is our 100th video on our YouTube channel. We've been at this for, 8 months, we're almost at 100 subscribers, and we have just rolled out, considering this gets published, our 100th video. So for today, I'm gonna do something a little bit special with you guys that I haven't done for several months. The first thing I want to do is go on a world tour, show all of you new subscribers, because about half of you have joined in the last few months, everything we've been doing on this world, and what this whole Let's Play is about. And if we have any extra time, I will do a special build to commemorate our 100th video. But I am just really excited about this, probably overexcited. I've got home from tennis practice, I'm covered in sweat, and I have yet to take a shower, but I really just wanted to start recording this. So we're gonna go outside, maybe actually to the spawn chunks, where it all started, and I'm going to tell you the story of this world. So this right here, guys, is where it all started, and immediately we see a door that's just there. I lived in this cave, I'm afraid to say, for over a week with my friend Billy. This was originally a LAN world that I made over the summer, and everything here is completely disorganized. These chests are mostly filled with eggs from an egg farm that overflowed. There are some furnaces here with charcoal and more eggs in them. But let's go up to the surface, because there are some much cooler things up there. Now, you may notice when we come out of here, all these are path blocks, and I actually did that sort of recently so that mobs wouldn't spawn here. And what I hope to do eventually is cover the entire spawn chunks with these path blocks so that I can have a passive mob farm. But around here, nothing's particularly interesting. We have some sugarcane. We have this automatic wheat farm, which is actually the only wheat farm on the world, so I have to keep coming back here. But it's just our standard auto-flushing wheat farm, and it's actually one of the first redstone builds I did. I had always done Minecraft, but I'd never really dedicated myself to it. Before this world, I would always play for maybe a week or 2 weeks on a world, get bored, and then leave. So this is actually really my first dedicated survival world. And right here is the site of the Great Chicken Massacre. I doubt many of you remember it, but I got into an egg fight at spawn once with a friend, and well, at one point this container held over 300 chickens, but now there's only one. And the only other really notable build right here is the minecart track that takes us to our base, so we may as well hop on this, because this is where things really started to get good. And we're out of minecart track. That is one of the most unforgivable things I've done on this world. I've never, ever finished this rail, and I thought they fixed that glitch. It used to be that when you broke a minecart, it would say it was a minecart, and then it said it was an entity.minecartwritable.name, and they said they fixed that, but apparently they didn't. I haven't really had occasion to test that, and I always think I can make that jump. I've never made that jump. Not once in my life. So after a short walk through a winding path swamp, we come upon this. Now this was my first video ever, that tower there. It was a sort of cringy first-person time-lapse of me making it, and we're gonna go in there for a second, but right here is our only tree farm on the world. There are some things that I've never got around to fixing, and that is one of them. That tower looks a lot better than I remember it. I'm really glad we made that. But we're going to go into the secret cave entrance of this base right here, and I will show you what it's all about if I can remember where the cave entrance is. Here we go. Now this base was really my first really well-made build. As you can see, I went for like a snow and ice theme, and I think it turned out good until we go down here. These hallways have never been finished, and I actually tore apart my first sorting system ever to get resources. I'm kind of sad about that. So this place at this point is pretty much abandoned. These right here used to be collection systems for automatic melon, pumpkin, and sugarcane farms. But as you can see, we just went into range of the beacon. All of the drops now get ported over to my new base, which I'll get to in a second. And down below we just have a mine, but the amount of mining we did on this world is really ridiculous, especially when we get over to the other base. I probably have 20 or 40 hours of mining in, and right here is actually something I've never showed you before, but it's a hyperspeed pathway over to my base. Now, you saw me spam clicking like that. That's because there's this little thing where if you sprint jump on ice, you can travel ridiculously fast when you don't get caught in blocks like I did there. Anyway, over to my base. This thing looks nicer every time I see it, and I just really love it. Now, at this point, the only way to see my base is from an elevated angle. I mean, it looks cool from underground and the inside and stuff, but you just can't get a grasp of the perspective unless you fly around it. And when we do fly around it, it looks quite cool, even if the corners aren't finished. And right through here is just this massive, colossus hallway. It looks good at any point in time, especially when night's out and I have my fancy sky on. But down here is where things really get cool. This was actually dug by hand. I didn't use any TNT for it. I originally just wanted to be able to have a base at mining level, but this thing has probably spiraled out of control. Over here, we have a completely automatic item sorter, and over here, we have another version of a completely automatic item sorter in case we would ever run out of storage. We also built an automated villager trading hall right here, which has allowed us to get infinite amounts of mending and frostwalker books. Now, after a little bit of mining and building and crafting, we got sort of bored of our cute little house, so we decided to go somewhere else, somewhere far more dangerous, which happened to be in the middle of the ocean. That's right, guys, we went to conquer an ocean temple, and this thing took quite a lot of time. I want to say I spent a month and a half on this project and didn't see my base in that entire time. If any of you remember, near the end of that time, I actually got really homesick and wanted to leave so badly that I left all my items there. And I mean, I had thousands of items lying in here, and I didn't collect them until recently. Now, it's been quite a while since I've looked at this farm, but this thing is completely sweet. Of course, it looks awesome because Minecraft's temple naturally looks awesome. We didn't change the shape of this ocean temple at all. But if you just saw that guardian fall there, you'll know that this is actually a fully automatic guardian farm. Guardians can spawn in all three sides of this collection system, and they'll fall down to bedrock, and over here, all their drops will be set into these chests. Now, this build right here was actually probably the grindiest thing I've ever done on this world. I had to empty the entire thing with water, and eventually used this slime block flying machine over there to do it for me, but it took quite a lot of time anyway. And then, once the outside was empty, I dug all of these trenches by hand, which required quite a lot of time since I didn't have any TNT. Another thing I attempted to build just before the Ocean Temple project was a dual blaze spawner. Now, this thing was absolutely sweet while it worked, and gave us a ton of blaze rods, but unfortunately it was broken by Minecraft 1.9, and I haven't had the heart to fix it since. After coming back home from the Ocean Temple, I was obviously a bit wiped out, because I had been grinding on the same thing for a month. So I did some adventuring and stuff. I fought the Ender Dragon again, this time in 1.9, and gained access to a pair of elytra wings. But when I came back, things just felt I had been playing Minecraft for a really long time on this Let's Play now, and I was starting to get tired. And that's when I built this little cottage. I had the idea that if I went back to basic Minecraft play, like I did when I was a little kid before all of this YouTube stuff and this whole big bad world, I would start to see the fun in Minecraft again. And at first I thought it was stupid, but it worked. I spent an entire episode just building and designing this little cottage, and all of a sudden my brain was flowing with ideas about Minecraft again. So from there on out, we just kept expanding the base. I built this really cool looking ice wall surrounding it, and introduced the idea that we would have 4 cities, each with their own different theme, in each corner of my base. So far we have like this sci-fi tower, and what's looking like the start of a very excellent medieval village. During that time, I was also introduced to the idea that you could travel super fast by putting boats on ice, and through this I built an entire race course for boats on ice, which is really fun to do, and will be expanded in some future episode. We also fought the Wither, claiming our first beacon, and completely automated our item sorting system with an item elevator and a system that sent items from all our farms in. The only other thing I can think of to mention is our really cool skeleton farm, which I spent a lot of time on, and honestly, I'm really proud about. And that, guys, looks like it's just about gonna wrap up the tour for today, but stick around because we still have a build to do, and I think it's gonna be a pretty cool build. See this vague outline right here that looks completely hideous? Well, today we are going to be transforming that into some sort of a medieval great hall, and trust me, it's not gonna be easy. So I'm gonna think about this. I'm gonna think about how I want to approach it. I'm gonna draw sort of an outline, except a much better looking outline than this, and then I am going to get into physically building this thing, and it is going to take quite a lot of time. Have you ever heard the term carried away? Well, forget about it, because this is nowhere close to carried away. This is like insanity. Do you see that thing sticking out from over our wall? That, my friends, is the roof of this great hall, and I feel like carried away does not come close to describing this thing. I suppose I'm sort of going for like a Gothic cathedral look. I don't really know, but this thing scares me. So we're going to go ahead and build maybe one panel on the sidewall and see how it looks, and hopefully it doesn't look horrible, because this thing takes a lot of time to build. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have been building for just about a half hour, and I have yet to see what this looks like. So we're going to take a good fly out to here, and that does not look half bad. I mean, obviously, it needs a lot of work, especially up there. I'm going to need to put a lot of detail into it, but I'm really liking just the shape right now, which I mean is enough to make any build a good build. But unfortunately, guys, I think that's about all I have time for today. I did build a tiny little monument for 100 videos, but this right here, this is not going to be for 100 videos. This right here is going to be a building to commemorate 100 subscribers, and I'm not going to tell you anything about what I'm going to do for my 100 subscriber special, but I will say it involves finishing this building and 100 diamond blocks, so I am gonna have a lot of mining to do. But if you like this video, please hit that like button, and if you want to help me get to 100 subscribers before the next episode, which will come out in exactly 7 days, then hit that share button, or maybe if you have a friend who you think will like this video, tell them about my little channel. But I hope you had a good time, guys, and I hope you learned a little bit of the history in the world. In the comments below, actually, tell me when you started watching this series. What episode did you pick it up on? Because in the beginning, we had no channel and there was practically no one watching these. But anyway, guys, this has been Richy, and I will see you next time.